afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Today we are going to discuss about the case study on the topic analog communication versus digital communication. So in this case study video, we are going to discuss about what are all the disadvantages in the analog communication and why we have moved for the digital communication and what are all the challenges we are facing in the analog communication. So what are all the difficulties in the analog communication and what are all the advantages in the digital communication.
So first, communication. So what is communication? So communication usually refers to the transfer of information from a sender to a receiver. So it can be done in two ways. One is analog communication and one is digital communication. So in analog communication, we can use a continuous signals, while in digital, we uses a discrete signals like zeros and ones. So over time, we have explored that there is a clear shift between the analog to digital systems. So like in revolutionary areas, like we can use in telecommunication, broadcasting and in data transfer also. For example, in today's world, where we were using an analog broadlines have changed into an digital mobile networks. And in analog TVs we were using, and now it have become an digital TV networks. So in this video, in this study we can explore about how the system works, both system works, and application and benefits and challenges. Why digital communication dominates more, while analog communication usually has its uses still.
So let us see about the basic topics of analog communication. The analog communication involves the transmission of the information by using the continuous time signal. So we have involves about the time variant of the radio and TV televisions, and the basic types of analog communication is nothing but AM modulation, FM modulation and phase modulation, and basically it used in the TV networks and etc. In the digital communication, we have using the binary code like 0 to 1s, and we have using the digital communication by varying the error correction and distraction and etc.
So while coming to the working principle of analog and digital communication, like in communication, the signal carries different information in different ways in both analog and digital. So in analog, the signal carries in continuous wave, and it will be changing according to the frequency and amplitude and at the same time phase of the carrier wave. And for example, like if in FM radio wave, so if the frequency is changed according to the sound we have sent. And while coming to the digital communication, so digital communication works with the discrete signals, and it will be in the form of zeros and ones. So first the video, image and the sound will be changed into binary form, then it will be transmitted to the signal, and then it will be again reconstructed back to the message signal. And for example, 4G and 5G are digitalized into small packets, and it is retained at the receiver end.
So as Pavitran said, we are concentrating only on the digital communication. There are so many drawbacks in the analog communication. So it is very simple. We can use limited in analog communication. Beyond that, we have to move for the digital communication. Thank you.
So let us see about the analog communication applications. The first is radio broadcasting. Here FM and AM radio transmit the analog modulator into the audio signals. And the second is television broadcasting. In the olden days TV systems, we use analog signal as in televisions. And the third is two-wave radio and walkie-talkies. And the applications of digital communications are mobile phones. From 2G to 5G, we use mobile phones as digital communications for better audio and video signals. And the digital television communications are used for transmitting the proper audio and video signals. And it is also used in IoT systems and satellite communications.
So I would say the disadvantages and advantages. The digital advantages are high immunity and less noise distortion and error reduction. And the disadvantages of digital communication is complex circuit and error detection is very tough. And analog communication is nothing but the advantages are its signal representation is in very natural way, and it is simple circuit. It represents real-time signals, and the disadvantages of analog signal is less noise immunity, and error detection is not applicable for this analog communications. And I would like to conclude that analog communication has simplest in simplest way, and it is so I would like to conclude that analog communication is very simple and it is useful in real-time systems. Compared to the digital communication, digital communication is used in many fields and many applications. Digital communication is revolutionized in connectivity. Example, if you take the digital communication means everything is digitalized in these generations because the future telescopes are 60 and quantum communications. While saying to the quantum communications, beyond the digital communication is being used in the quantum communications. Example, if you take the digital communication means it's nothing but the zeros and ones. Zeros and ones itself high immunity. After beyond that, it's quantum communication. So I would like to say that compared to analog communication, digital communication is very high signal immunity and error detection. So IoT enabled infrastructures are being used in future trends, and then